Good morning, Miss Christine Williams. Checking on my face as usual when I turn on the cup of glow. Oh my goodness gracious. Do we need some glow this morning? Happy August 29th, 2018. It's been a morning and a night, but I'm here. And that's the important thing, right? So grab your cup of glow and let's just sit here and have a moment together and talk about some really important things. Okay. Whoa. Talk about the last few days have had some, well, my goodness, the last few months, this last year, when hasn't it been just so amazingly difficult? It really is. The last few days have been really tedious. And I'm sure this is why the card that I pulled today has come. It's a beautiful card. It's a beautiful message. It's a timely message. It's one that I need, especially I need, that you need, because if I need it, you need it. Okay, I'm using Colette Baron Reid today, her wisdom cards, because I just really love the educational aspect and the good, no nonsense approach that she takes. The card that I pulled today is the Earth Fairy, and it feels to me like I keep pulling the same cards. Now, maybe I do, maybe I don't. Maybe I pull them in other readings, but it seems to me that we have done this one before, just like in the recent last few days, maybe couple weeks. But the card that I pulled is the Earth Fairy, and it is about physical health, grounding, and foundations. Okay. Grounding and foundation is so important here. Let me just read what it says because it's just so valid. The Earth Fairy says to pay attention to your health and all things pertaining to your physical body. Well, let's have a cup of glow to that because let me tell you what, I have had a hard time holding my head up, uh, getting rest when I put my head down. The energy's just been so heavy, and everything affects our physical body. All of our emotions, our environment, the food that we eat, everything that happens affects our physical body. And this is our vehicle. This is our vehicle to carry our spirit throughout this lifetime. So let's see what we have to say, what the Earth Fairy has to say here. Pay attention. Perhaps you need exercise or to pay special attention to your diet. Are you getting enough sleep? All of those things. The Earth Fairy reminds you to indulge your senses. So what does that mean? Pay attention to how you feel. When you indulge in a decadent dessert, you just enjoy every moment. Every sense is awakened. You feel the flavor through your cells, through your taste buds, and that's indulging. Well, are we doing that with how we are feeling? Indulge in your senses. How does your head feel? How do your shoulders feel? How do your hands feel? How does your gut feel? Just everything. Are you paying attention to your physical body? The sensual world is an important part of the path to Avalon and must be honored. When the Earth Fairy appears, she reminds you to get into your body and out of your head. So much of our time is being spent in our head these days, and that is because we are in energetic upheaval, which pulls us up into our head. And even though that's important, that's a really important aspect of development, our mind, our intuition, our ability to speak, our intellect, all of those things, those senses, we also need more than ever right now to be in our bodies, to be grounded all the way down to our very toes. Um, just like literally pouring your spirit as though it were liquid right down into the very tips of your toes and grab the earth for all you're worth. Okay? Get your hands in some dirt. Do gardening perhaps. Don't spend too much time analyzing things over and over. That's just being up here in your head. Remember that your physical self is the house of your spirit, as Mother Earth houses you, as we just mentioned. Get grounded. Remember you're part of the living earth. Stay connected. One of the things I like to teach my clients when they come to me is when you get out of bed in the morning and just imagine yourself, laying there, you know, just waking up from your rest and coming back into your body from your dream state. When you fling your legs over to the side of your bed and you put your feet on the ground, you envision yourself literally as the roots of a tree grasping into the earth and going way down, down, down as far as you possibly can to the very core of the earth. And pretend this is the core and wrap those roots around that core and you hang on because that is what you need to stay connected during the day to the earth. Now, gravity is going to push us down, but our spirit wants to float and we want to, um, we love freedom and we want to fly, but we also need to stay connected and we need to learn how to do both while being so connected. Another message from Earth Fairy is to make sure that the foundations of all you do are solid. Be aware of projects, relationships, business ideas, and families. And families all need to be built on a sturdy, steady foundation. This is so critical. If you've ever been on a construction site, there are certain places you step, and there are certain places you do not. Why? Because if you step where you shouldn't, it could be fatal. You could break a leg, something major, you could fall, something major, something could fall on you. I mean, it could alter your existence. I have had something fall on me and alter my existence for several years. And I guarantee you don't want that. The reason for that was a faulty foundation. And when there is no foundation, there is not strength in that which is built. Because you can be building and gathering information. That's good, wonderful, solid information. But you need to place it in a proper foundation. Because if you don't, it's going to get wavy and shaky and it might fall because it needs to be placed in a proper foundation. So, again, beware that all projects, relationships, business ideas, and families all need to be built on sturdy, steady foundations. What are those foundations? Check out all of those things just mentioned, your families, your relationships, your business, everything that you do. Look below. What are your foundations? What is it that you're building upon? Is it something that will support you? Is it something that will give you the sustenance that you need when you're not as strong as you want to be? Let me suggest to you one, and this is me, this is the Book of Chris. One foundation that I highly recommend is that we recognize that we are spiritual beings put into an earthly body for an experience. So if we go back to our origin then we will have more strength in this experience. I believe, this is me, the Book of Chris, that it's very important to call upon our divine and higher powers. We all are raised with different beliefs and different thoughts. I've asked many people in my work, what do you consider to be your higher power? What do you consider to be your divine? I have had 100 different answers. I really don't. Personally, I don't care what your answer is, but you need to care. I just want to make sure that you're aware that there is a higher power, something that is greater than you, that has helped you to be in your body, that has brought you into your body, that has created your body. Therefore, it will have a, a good, strong foundation for you to move forward. This earth was not placed here for us to just play jacks, okay? Or the game of life. It wasn't a game, it was a well planned thing. And I, we can all, like I say, we all have different beliefs in all different aspects of learning that have come to us. We've all been conditioned differently. Look at your beliefs, look at your foundations. See if you need to cling a little bit closer, or if you're perhaps not embracing them as your foundation. Because often when we don't, we're not as strong. Again, we all have a different belief, a different conditioning. I only suggest to you that there is a higher power than you, yourself, and you. Okay? If that's only my belief, and you don't have to buy into it at all. This is just from my experience and my conditioning, and I had great conditioning and great upbringing. But to add to that, I had a really beautiful near-death experience, which really gave me more to hold on to. Why I had that experience, I don't know. If not to share, maybe just little pieces of it here and there, if to not help maybe someone else have a little piece of foundation to hold on to. It's not my place to tell you who your higher power is. That's for you to find out. But you need to go inward and go back to that very core, basic foundation. Ask some questions and then start building upon that. Because I think that so many of us right now are rocked in our very foundations, that many of our foundations are falling. And it's a scary feeling, but it doesn't have to be. If we can go back and just check our foundation, make sure it's steady. If there's cracks, repair them. This is what we do when we have an issue with a home. When you purchase a home and you go check it out, we have an inspector come and he goes around and checks and sees if all of the things are just right. If they're not, they say no sell. If you do, you buy at your own risk. But most banks won't loan on a risk that is not a good risk. So check your foundation. Get into it. Get grounded. Get firm. Rebuild. Call a repair person if you need. Make sure that your foundation is strong. And that's a message for today, and I think it's a very, very timely message, is to get grounded. Go out and plant your feet in the grass. We still have grass that's not covered by water or snow. And I know that sounds funny, but the way that the weather has changed, I mean, 2 days ago we were in scalding hot heat. Ugh. And I heard today that it was snowing in Yellowstone, which is just a few hundred miles away. So, who knows what will happen tomorrow? But today, let's get grounded. Cup of Glow. Have a great day.